above, the south of Mexico lies in an almost dormant state, completely unaware of the encroaching outside world. Not since the Mayan Indians were stripped of their culture and civilized has this tropical jungle paradise thrived. But a closer look indeed reveals an almost pristine world where the river of the sacred monkey lends life to a flourishing valley of wilderness, a place full of wild and exotic animals living in relative seclusion. Rarely is this gorge invaded, save for the occasional archaeologist or unsuspecting tourist. But a group of whitewater kayakers yearn for the opportunity to negotiate the valley's sometimes treacherous river. Due to the extremely adverse conditions, though, a truly unique blend of individuals were needed if the expedition had any chance for success.
My job here is to be an interpreter for the Europeans and also a safety boater for Cully to make this trip safe and to make the understanding between the groups possible.
Yes, I'm the climber on this trip. I'm going to be helping to rig the portages. There's a couple of places where we have some very difficult portages. We're going to need to use ropes and Tyrolean traverses, and I'll be helping with that.
My primary function on this expedition is to be a safety boater and to watch out for everybody, make sure that everybody goes where they're supposed to, and run the right lines.
The adventure was now ready to begin, and one by one, the kayakers eagerly paddled into the white water. Immediately, the expedition was faced with the task of negotiating some very difficult chutes. And as the excitement built, so too did the reality that there was now no turning back. Like a minefield, rocks lined the violent river, and quickly, the quest for adventure was a reality.
I think adventure is putting yourself in a new situation where you're not familiar with what's going to happen. You're not sure how you're going to react. And so you discover new parts of yourself. And you can have an adventure anywhere as long as it's a new situation to you. I think the fact that you're in a remote area down here sort of ups the difficulty. It increases the difficulty of a river. You know, if something happens, there's no one to help you. You're basically on your own. And it adds to the danger, but it adds to the mystique.
The expedition made it through the first day, tired but intact. Now the weary kayakers were preparing for a good night's rest. But this is the jungle, a place where nightfall brings life to a variety of nocturnal creatures.
The jungle's scary. The jungle is this explosion of life, and it's every kind of plant conceivable, every kind of crawling, creeping bug. And I don't know, that kind of thing appeals to me, you know. The pouring rain, the bugs crawling all over me. I like that kind of thing, and I think it takes that kind of person, you know, a little bit masochistic to really appreciate the value in a trip like this.
Morning begins with a difficult portage which requires the expertise of climbing specialist John Mattson. Patience and time are required to get through the tricky and almost impassable funnel in the river. But Mattson's intricate web allows the kayaks to be passed through one by one. While the system works flawlessly, unsure footing and a sweeping river turn what would have been a 1-minute ride into a painstaking 5-hour chore. Only visions of what lie ahead push the expedition on. Once through the portage, however, the kayakers are not disappointed. A series of travertine waterfalls ranging from 10 to 70 feet high challenge the will and courage of the team. Between falls, raging whitewater carries the expedition swiftly through the gorge. As the team approaches the largest section of falls, each kayaker must decide for himself with respect to the travertine formations which line to take.
Well, there's a great danger in the water in terms of the travertine formation here. The travertine forms waterfalls, but most of the rocks that you might find in the normal river are usually solid. These rocks are all undercut, which means if you go off your line and you go the wrong way, you end up getting stuck underneath some ledge somewhere in your boat, and you end up talking to God and wishing you weren't there and trying to get out and force your way against the current and get out from underneath, and can be trouble, big trouble.
From the towering 70-foot high waterfalls to the rock-lined whitewater chutes, each kayaker's individual strengths and abilities combine to keep the expedition out of any serious trouble, and instead help to create a team capable of handling all that this beautiful yet treacherous river could offer.